June was hot, but the temperatures weren't the only thing that was high. My credit card bill and my wife's blood pressure reached their limits in June. So per usual, I'm going to show you the bottles I passed up on, I missed on, and the ones I was able to purchase. Of course, I'm going to show you their prices and how and where I saw them. Let's go. Welcome to Whiskey Mink. My name is David. Let's get straight to the bottles. Actually, before that, I'm going to ask you for one favor. If you ever do go to any of these stores because of this video or any of my past haul videos, just let that store owner and employee know you were there because you were made aware by David from Whiskey Bank. They might look at you all weird because they might have no idea who I am, but it's kind of cool just to, when I walk in, if they notice me. And so if you could do that, that'd be great. Now, you don't have to, obviously, but it'd be cool. So first, the bottles I passed up on. Now, the first bottle, I passed on this because I already have one. And also the liquor store is really far away. It's like an hour, hour and a half. And so it didn't make any sense. It's gonna be the Old Carter Rye Whiskey, batch number 12 for $150 if you buy 2 of their store picks. But if you think about it, that's a great deal. Usually the Old Carter Rye itself is usually $250 in most places. But if you get, like, let's say 2 store picks, that's $50, $60, you're gonna get the Old Carter Rye batch 12 and 2 store picks for about $260, or usually just the price for the Old Carter. So that's a great deal. But like I said, I already have it and it's an hour and 20 minutes away. So too far, but it's a great deal. So next 2 bottles, a lot of people like this brand, but I just think it's too expensive. It's gonna be the Blood Oath number 10 coming at $106 at Total Wine & More in Brea, and the number 9 coming at, again, at $106, but this time at Great Press 2 in Mission Viejo. I mean, it's not even barrel strength. I believe it's 98.6 degrees, or I'm sorry, proof, basically because to match the blood degrees temperature, right? And so, and the finishing is cool. And so when Blood Oath first came out, there weren't a lot of great finished bourbons. And so I can see why it was not only priced that high, but also why it was popular. But now there's a lot of great finished bourbons and ryes. And so this isn't particularly unique. And again, with the price point at the proof point with no age statement. And honestly, when I had a taste of a couple of them, I just don't think it was worth $160. So unless something changes, high age statement, higher proof, better quality, or price comes down. Let's say it comes down to 90 or $100, then maybe I'll give it a shot. Until then, pass. So the next bottle, it's a brand that the price just keeps going up and up and up to a point that I just don't think is sustainable, but it is because it's sold out. And also this was before there was reviews. And so I wasn't really sure about it. So I passed on it at this time. It's gonna be the Wild Turkey Triumph coming in at $300 at Cypress Craft up in Cypress, and for $290 at Dimension Liquor in Lake Forest, California. $300, $290 for a 10-year-old rye that's not barrel proof or cask strength. I mean, I know it's Master's Keep, and so I hesitated. I thought maybe I want to buy it, but I did pass up on it at the time. I was just, I didn't see any reviews. The Voyage obviously wasn't the greatest one, and it was $270, $280, and so I was like, I'm gonna wait for some reviews to see if I want to buy this one. So passed. So the next bottle came in a couple of bundles. That was pretty good, but because I already had a bottle, I just didn't want to spend the money to get another one, even though it's a great bottle. So it's gonna be the Russell's Reserve 13-year-old bundles. So first bundle is gonna be bundled with a 10-year-old bourbon and a 6-year-old rye coming in at $270. Now, if you consider the 6-year-old rye and the 10-year-old bourbon around $80, $90, you're getting the Russell's Reserve 13 for about $180, $190, which is above MSRP, but it's still a decent deal considering that there might never be another Russell's 13 again. The second package, this one's a great one, was actually Russell's Reserve 13 with 2 10-year-old bourbons and a single barrel coming at $280 at high proof in Fullerton. Now, if you consider 10-year-olds and the single barrel around $140, you're getting the Russell's Reserve 13 at $140, which is below MSRP. It's a great bundle, but it was batch number 4, and I already have batch number 4. So I already have half bottle. If it was batch number 3 or batch number 5, I might have done it. But to consider that, get another one at $300, which is basically plus tax, I just couldn't do it. But you could tell it was a great bundle because it sold out pretty quickly. So they certainly didn't need my money. The next one is going to be also a bundle, but most of these are going to be bundled just because of how popular they are and what they need to do to boost these bottles. It's got to be the Old Fitzgerald 10-year-old bundled with 1.75 liter Larceny and Logic Craig small batch and a regular 750 Larceny coming in at $300. Now, if you consider the other bottles at around $100, you're getting the Old Fitz 10-year-old for about $200. So again, a reasonable bundle. I passed up on it because I just don't think the Old Fitzgerald is worth even its MSRP per se, right? 180 bucks, I think $160. And so at 200 plus I have to get 3 other bottles at 100 bucks. Just wasn't for me. It was for a lot of people because again, it sold out. Oh, and this was also at High Proof in Florida. Man, High Proof is killing it. The next one I passed up on, the only reason I passed up on it because just like the other one, I already have a bottle. But if I didn't, I would definitely bought this one. It's gonna be the Russell's Reserve Single Rick House Camp Nelson F bundled with a Russell's Reserve 6-year-old rye coming in at $350. This one at Cypress Craft in Cypress, California. Seems like Cypress and High Proof has some type of price war going because they're bringing some great bundles. You know what? Better competition, price war is better for consumers like us. So I'm all for it. But I thought the Russell's Reserve Single Rick House for $350 by itself was a great deal, but this comes with the 6-year-old rye. It's almost like a free bottle. Great bundle. And obviously, again, I know it's a great bottle because it sold out in 5 minutes. And so great bundles everywhere, but again, already had one, so pass. So next, the bottles I missed on. The ones I wanted to get, but I was just too slow, or I was too slow. I just couldn't get them. First one, so I passed on this. So it's actually on my passed on list. But after seeing some great reviews, after seeing more great reviews, and after seeing more great reviews, I was like, you know what? F it. I want it. But I missed it because this time I was too slow. It's gonna be the Wild Turkey Triumph, the 10-year-old rye whiskey. This one for $285 at High Proof. Again, High Proof had the best price at $285. And this was after a couple of days after there was some great reviews. I think Master and Drum said it's worth the money, it's worth to buy. There's a couple other ones that said it was a great pour, and so the FOMO kicked in. I said, you know what, I'm gonna try to buy. I was too slow. So I saw the Instagram post. I think I was at work, and so I couldn't see it for about 10-15 minutes. Obviously I clicked on it, it was already gone. So I missed it. I'm trying to look for another one. Hopefully, I'm hearing that the Total Wine around the area has around it for $220. If that's the case, I'm definitely buying. Now, the next bottle I missed on. Now, this one's kind of weird because I wait for great reviews. Actually, the reviews on this are kind of bad. People are saying it's not worth the money. They're just running out of ideas. It's rehashing something old and just putting in a new package. But you know what? Sometimes you just want it because you just want it. It's gonna be the Maker's Mark Wood Finishing Series 2024 version, the Heart Release, coming at $90 at Cypress Craft up in Cypress, California. Again, a lot of reviews saying, just get the Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, or any of the store picks are just as good. But you know what? I want it. And so I clicked on it, sold, gone. And so there's a lot of them. So hopefully I'll be able to get the next one, and a little bit cheaper because $90 is a little expensive. So hopefully I'm hoping to get it around 75, 80 bucks. So hopefully next month I'll have it in my purchase list and not my missed list. So the next bottle I missed on is basically just going to be a bunch of Russell's Reserve 15 bundles, but these were some great bundles. You guys will see. The first one was from Corked Bixie in Long Beach. The first bundle was going to be a Russell's Reserve 15 with their single Rick House Camp Nelson F for $600. That's a really good deal for Russell's Reserve 15. If you think about it, the Camp Nelson F is about $350. So that means you're getting the Russell's Reserve 15 for $250. And if you don't have the Count Nelson F, you're getting one of the greatest bottles of last year and hopefully one of the best bottles of this year in Russell's Reserve 15 at both at basically MSRP. That's a great bundle. They also had a second bundle, which was the Russell's Reserve 15 and 3 10-year-old bourbons coming in at 500. Now this one isn't as great because if you consider the 3 Russell's Reserve 10-year at 150, 120, that means you're paying $350 to $380 for the Russell's Reserve 15. So that one, it's if you wanted to save $100 and you didn't want to spend 600 plus tax for it, but I would spend the extra 100 and get the Camp Nelson F than obviously than the 3 10-year-olds. And so the first bundle is fantastic. I don't want to say I wish I got that one because I already have the Camp Nelson F, but man, that's a great deal. If you're enjoying this content, please push that like button. It absolutely helps me out. I want to thank my YouTube and Patreon members. Thank you so much for supporting me. If you want to check it out with the perks, the links are right down there. All right, enough of the sad news. On to the good news, bottles I actually purchased. In the first bottle, I want to give a shout out to my local bourbon club, OCBS, or Orange County Bourbon Society. Not only is it a great place to meet new people that love bourbon, get some knowledge, or even alerts on allocation drops, sometimes it's a great place to get some great barrel picks. And this bottle I got from the bourbon pick, which is going to be Dream Spirits Straight Bourbon Whiskey, single barrel, cask strength, coming in at 112.4 proof at 11 years old, distilled in Indiana, basically MGP. It's a cool bottle. It was only at $121 all in for 11-year-old cask strength MGP bourbon. So I'm really excited to try it. So next bottle, the reason I purchased it is there's a lot of rumors that this might be discontinued very soon. So it's actually a pretty common bottle now, but it might not be very common soon. It's gonna be Old Grandad 114 coming at $29, and I got this at high proof up in Fullerton. If you're watching my channel, you probably saw the Bourbon Real Talk Randy Sullivan in his video about the possibility that this might be discontinued. And he gives great reasons why it probably should be discontinued for business purposes. And so I bought a bottle. I actually haven't had one in a while, so if I like it, I might just buy it back up before maybe it's discontinued. Now, if it's not, then at least I like it, I'll have a backup, and it's only 2 bottles. Now, if it's discontinued, at least I'll have a backup. So that's what it is. And so yeah, I'm gonna open this up very soon, see if I like it, and if I do, buy another one. Well, the next 2 bottles are single barrels. They're both barrel proofs, and I've been really looking for a high proof of these because usually the higher the proof, better the flavor for some reason. It's going to be Jack Daniel's single barrel proof whiskey coming in at 133 proof, and the rye coming in at 135.7 proof. And the price was great, around $50, again at high proof off in Fullerton. Man, I love high proof. They're killing it. And the proof, okay, it matches their name, high proof single barrel whiskeys, right? Can't get better than that. And so I've been looking for a single barrel Tennessee whiskey at above 130 for a long time, and I finally found it at 133. Had to buy. Obviously the rye is one of my favorites at 135.7. High enough for me. Obviously I like to find one at 138 plus, but hey, I'll settle for 135. So these absolutely delicious, great finds, great price. The next bottle I got, I absolutely love the standard bottle. So when there's a special release, especially the first one in 4 years, even though it's expensive, I had to get it. It's going to be the Murray Hill Club Special Release number 4, finished in Calvados cask, coming in at 111 proof. And I got this for $190 in Great Press 2 in Mission Viejo. I did a review of this, so after this video, if you want to get more details, watch that review. But again, I love the regular Murray Hill Clubs, one of my favorite bottles. And even though it's $70 or like $80, $90, to me, it's still a great value because of what it brings. So I had to get this. I did a review of this. And you know what? When you see that video, you'll see if I like it or not. So the next bottle I got, I absolutely love the fact that it's an experimental series and it's just so different from batch to batch or chapter to chapter in this case. It's going to be Little Book Chapter 8, Path Not Taken. I got this for about $164 up on Pavilions in Irvine. So Little Books, as you know, is a project by Freddie No that can be really crazy and really weird. And in this case, this was trying to feature some Rise. It's getting some great reviews. So I had to get this one, especially after chapter number 7. That was one of my favorite bottles of 2023. Obviously, chapter 6 was a miss in my opinion. And so that's why a lot of people still don't get chapter 7s or 8s, but that's great for me because it's, you know, more great whiskey for me and others that actually know. But again, even though chapter 6 was a miss, I still like the fact that Freddie No is trying new things, right? You're not just going on your lures and just blending good bourbons. He's trying to do some smoked barrels and some staves and Rise and malts and everything else that's, you know, it's gonna make things more unique and different and fun. So I'm really excited to try this, and I will do a review hopefully in the next couple of videos. So next bottle, I've been holding off on this bottle because I haven't been able to find a good deal. It obviously it's a sought after bottle, and so it's always above MSRP. It comes in bundles that I never really liked, but this bundle was good enough, even though it's bundle, and it was just good enough for me to just, you know, just say, F it, I'm gonna buy it. It's gonna be the Michter's 10-year-old rye single barrel, coming in at $290, bundled with 3 standard Michters at high proof up in Fullerton. Now, if you consider the 3 standard Michters around $100, I guess sometimes $120, this actually comes out to be $170 to $109, which is a great deal, either at or even below MSRP. I never had a bottle of this. I only had a pour of the 2022 or 2023, if I remember correctly. Either way, I absolutely loved it, and I've been looking for a bottle. I actually was trying to not buy a bundle because I wanted to save it for the bourbon, but I missed on the bourbons last month and I don't see it, and I just couldn't wait any longer. And with this kind of deal, and I love the Michter Standard. I believe I picked the American, the Rye, and the Sour Mash, which I know I'm gonna drink, and so I got it, and hopefully it's a great pour, because if it's not, I'm gonna be sad, but that's life. So the next bottle, I don't want to say I got lucky because I paid over MSRP for a damaged bottle, if you consider it that way. But because so many people collected, or they give it as gifts, or they, you know, I guess they flip it in some cases. Even though I paid over MSRP, it's still a great deal. It's going to be Thomas H. Handy, the 2023 version, coming in at 124.9 proof. So the foil was badly damaged, and so the liquor store couldn't sell it because, like I said, a lot of people want to keep it, you know, put it up in the top shelf and make it all look pretty, and you can't do that when it's a damaged foil. So I asked, I was like, hey, why don't you sell that to me? Give me a good price. And it wouldn't give me a good price for a while, but finally last month I said, you know what, if you're not gonna sell it, just say you're not gonna sell it. And he's like, all right, I'll sell it. And I was able to negotiate it down to $250. I know MSRP is what, 150, 130, depending on where you're at. But most of the time, the cheapest I ever found this was like $450, right? And so I was like, you know what? He said, I think he went down to 300. I said 200, and so we just met in the middle at 250. And VTech, I took the foil off because it was pretty damaged bandaged. But cool thing was, I was still able to scan, and so I know it's a real one. And second, you know, I already had a pour. I already gave a sample out to a good friend because, you know, it's a VTech. You know, I gotta share. So, but I have a VTech, Thomas H. Handy. I like Rise, and you know what? I absolutely enjoy it. Who cares about the foil? If I'm gonna drink it, I know the whiskey inside is just the same, right? So I'm gonna drink it. I got a good deal, so I got it. And then the last bottle, and the most special bottle, this one I actually got because of you guys. Because when I'm doing these videos, a lot of people did go over there and did say that, hey, they heard me, or they heard of the place because of me, Whiskey Bank. And so they did, you know, when I went in there, they actually noticed who I was, and it was kind of cool, and they gave me a good deal on this one. Actually, I don't want to say a good deal, a special deal just for me in terms of they held it for me even though it was selling out everywhere. It's going to be the Russell's Reserve 15-year-old. And I got this at high proof up in Florida. I can't say the price because that was between me and the owner, Roy, but he was very appreciative of my videos and saying how great they are in terms of pricing and all that good stuff. And so I guess a lot of people went and said, hey, I went there because of Whiskey Bank. And so I paid more than MSRP. I'll tell you that. It's not like he gave it to me at MSRP or he's just like whatever, but I did pay a little bit more, but still better pricing than a lot of other places. And obviously I didn't have to buy a bundle. So it's great. And all thanks to you guys. But because of that, when I do a review, I am gonna do a giveaway of a sample of this to one of you guys. Again, because you guys watch my videos, went there and actually mentioned my name, I actually had an opportunity to get this. So I do want one of you guys at least to get us an opportunity to try this, and I'm planning to do more. So hopefully that I'm giving back a little bit more. Again, if you guys go to not only High Proof, but any of the other places I mentioned, please do mention my name. Again, it might not help. None of them actually even know that I'm a YouTuber. Even though I go in there, they have no idea. But hey, you never know. Maybe something like this is a cool way for you guys to pay back for me for making great content, right? I'm making great content. Anyways, thank you so much. But yes, so can't wait to try this. Can't wait to review this, and can't wait to do that giveaway. So I should have that video up in the next 2 weeks. So look for it, and you'll find out how to enter. Let me know in the comments, which one did you want me to review the most? Or which one are you hunting for? Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next time.